Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope after our last chapter on motivation, we were able to find the right kind of motivation to keep us on track for our target grades. And today we move on to another aspect of HR, and we will look to tie up all the different functions that HR performs for a business and look to see how with the little things that they do across the organization, how they're able to keep everyone focused towards the common business goal and making sure the business has some form of competitive advantage from the skill set or the simple number of their force, the workforce they have. And if they can bring all of them to follow one strategy, one strategic approach which effectively helps them to manage the whole organization's workers so that a business stays on course towards their objectives is what HR does. And the thing about HR is that since we're talking about labor is across the business, right? It's not just one department. HR obviously will have people within it. You will have finance, obviously people, marketing, operations, IT, administration. So everything within the business has some level of labor involvement. So HR is the department that makes sure that all the workers have what they need to be motivated at work and continue to work, and the business are able to provide in return to the workers what the workers expect from them. So that's what we're going to look at in this chapter, human resource management. And another way, just before we move on, to look at it would be that if you see this graphic here, a business is basically a web of workers, right? Some of them maybe perhaps these people are in the marketing department, so they will need a different kind of support from HR. Maybe these are from operations, they will need something different. These guys in finance. So everybody within each department will need HR support. But as a whole, when the business is trying to operate on one platform, one strategy, as a whole, the business also needs to be connected from an HR perspective. And how they're connected through HR is exactly what we're going to look at in this video. So when it comes to HRM, human resource management, it's not just one thing or one function that the department of HR is performing. In fact, it's a combination of functions or different tasks that the department performs, which collectively helps the business on the labor side to achieve their objectives. Now we will remember this from our concept of management by objectives, MBO, that a business will have one objective at the start of the year and they will divide that amongst the individual departments so that each department knows how they are contributing towards the overall objective. So if I could give you an example, let's say a business has the objective of profit maximization. Now, when you're thinking of making more profit, that means marketing department obviously has to do something within their department to do that. And one of the ways would be to maybe increase the price or to make more varieties of products so that you can sell more and make more profits. So that's what marketing would be doing. On the operational end, the operational department would know that in order to make more profit, you'll need more sales, and for more sales, you need more output. So they will be working on increasing their output. HR will be looking to hire the kind of people who will bring in the ideas, the enterprise that will make the profit, or simply just more workers so that more output can be produced so that profit can be earned. So whatever the business decides at the top, each individual department starts performing their own roles to help achieve that overall objective. And HRM does it through these different functions. Now, we'll start off with one in this video, and the following ones you will see all the other ones. But in general, there are 8 things that HR is doing to make sure that the workers have the support that they need to achieve whatever the business asks them to do. At the same time, the workers also have a good balance in their work. It's not just work, they also have time for their work, for their personal life, for their development, for their training. So it's not just about getting everything out from the workers for the business, but it's also about how the business can be more interesting and more challenging for the workers so that they feel motivated to do well. And those functions or those tasks or the different actions that the HR department takes are first one is called workforce plan, which we will look at in this video. It's all about making sure that you have the right number of people so that your targets can be achieved. Looking at the incentive systems, which is about how the different payments are made to workers. We looked at it in the monetary rewards video. You will remember time-based, piece rate, etc., etc. Also, very big part of HR policy, especially in the modern business place, is employee welfare. They also have time to give at home, to do their own thing, to maintain a good work-life balance. That's also something that HR would look at. Sadly, when you have to hire people, you also may have to sometimes fire people, which is where ending employment would come in, and that's also something we'll discuss. Appraisal is a process where you see whether your workers were efficient or were they able to achieve their targets, should they be rewarded for it. So making sure that you're able to monitor the performance is what appraisal is, and that's something that HR does. And I will also point out here that HR doesn't just do it for their own department, HR will do it for everyone in the organization. Providing employment contracts is very important for a business. It gives job security to the workers, that they can't be just fired, and also for the business to know that we have a worker for X number of months till the contract expires. Training and development. Workers always want to learn more, so they will expect that they be trained by the business, and it's also for the businesses, it's in the business's interest to train their workers so that they become better employees and of course come up with better ideas for the business. And whether you need an employee in the operations department, marketing, finance, HR, wherever, it's the HR department that will go about the whole recruitment or the hiring process. So a lot of different functions that collectively make up HRM, and we will start off with workforce planning. Now, whenever you hear the term workforce planning, I want you to think of just two things. Okay? Workforce planning is all about getting the right number of workers in the business. That's the first phase. And the second phase is about making sure that you have all the right skills in the business that you require from your human resource, your employees. So on the most basic level, that's what you need to do when you're planning for your workforce. How many people you will need. So let's say I'm a car manufacturer. I make 100 cars. I need, let's say, 20 employees. If suddenly my sales go up, I need 200 cars. I can't expect the same number of workers to be making double the amount of cars, so I will need to increase the number of workers. That's something that's coming from a sales forecast. So that's one aspect of it. One factor that helps you to determine how many people you need is an accurate sales forecast. Let's say again, I'm a car manufacturer and I want to do something new. Maybe I've been making petrol cars for all our life, and now we want to make electric vehicles. That means I will need people who have that knowledge, that understanding, that how to make electric vehicles and things like that. And that's something that the operations department will be specifically asking for. That look, if you want us to make an EV car, give us people who have that knowledge. So it could be a specific departmental requirement through which you may need more workers within the organization. So that's again part of workforce planning. Now, when you're thinking of skills, that what type of skills do we need in an organization? Of course, when somebody leaves an organization, they have to be replaced. So their skills are obviously you will be looking for in the market, looking to replace directly. And the idea would be to, if you can get in someone who has more than just the skills that you require, that will always be better. You can do more with that worker. They can help you with newer ideas. So at the most basic level, you got to make sure that the type of job that you're looking for, the type of person you're looking for in that job, he has that skill that's been vacated by the previous person. And secondly, it also depends on the business's objective. So if you want to expand, if you want to go to a new country, you want to become a multinational, then you will probably need someone who has local knowledge of that area. So the business objective will also help you to determine the type of skill that you need and also the number of workers. Because if you're going international, you can't expect the same workers to be working one country in the morning and then evening the other country. So you've got to have two dedicated workforces. And that's where an expansion plan would also need the right skill and the right number of workers. So workforce planning, right number of people, and those people to have the right skills which are required for the sales forecast, the departmental needs, the type of vacancy that's opened up, and whatever the business objective is. And what they're really trying to avoid at this point is a situation where you have either too few workers, because if you have too few workers, that means you can't meet the output. So that's not a good thing. If you end up having too many, that means you will have idle workers, idle resources, not doing much and just being underutilized. And it's costing you. You pay your workers, they won't do it for free. So too few and too many, both situations aren't workable. So what you have to do is make sure that the HR department has the correct idea as to the right number of people required and the skills to meet that overall objective that the company has set itself. That is what workforce planning is.